Hello everybody, welcome back once again. Got another playthrough for you. This one is going to be Unicorn Overlord. I haven't actually beat it in its entirety quite yet. So some of this will be new to me, but I've been playing just a little bit and I enjoy it a bit, certainly. It actually the game reminds me a little bit of Brigandine for the PlayStation. Sort of, there's some pretty major differences, but in some ways it reminds me of that. But yeah, the play style is very, very different and a little odd. I guess also it kind of reminds me a little bit of Final Fantasy 12 and that Gambit system that game had, but or has. Let's start up a new game here. I know there's a lot of voice acting, which I actually enjoy, so I'll try to not speak over people when that happens.
You, my queen, take leave of this place while you're still able.
To where, I might ask? Nigh every last of Cornia's lords has forsaken us in favor of the traitor Valmor. No refuge remains for a crowned fugitive. Yet the general seeks my death and mine alone. I shall not flee from that fate. Though you still can. A sole rider with Elaine at your side. Take him, Joseph. Raise that delicate seedling into a sturdy tree capable of weathering the harsh climes that await. And pray safeguard the ring of the unicorn as well. Hold it close to you until Elaine is a man grown. He will have need of the power it bears.
My queen,
Mother? Are they coming for us?
Heed well these words, Elaine. I say this not as your mother, but as your queen. From here forth, you're to treat Joseph's command as though it were spoken directly with my tongue. Do you understand?
Of course, but is there something amiss?
My faith and more lies with you, Joseph. I only pray it is enough. Farewell, and may the heavens guide you.
Why are you just standing there, Joseph? Aren't you going to help her?
would that I were able, my prince. Come, we've not a minute to spare.
Right, bar all exits to the city. The queen's not to leave this place alive. Our great general reduced to little more than a base traitor, Find my head not so easily parted from my soldiers, Valmor. I wonder if you can say the same. Come everyone, we march this day for Her Majesty Elenia. Alright, unit movement says move the cursor with the L stick to select allied units and command them to move across the battle stage. Select Queen Elenia's unit and use the move command to make them march toward Valmor's position. This is basically just a tutorial battle. You can attack some of these troops, but there isn't really much reason to. And then these guys at the exit, you can't attack them actually at all. So I'm kind of just going to try to make a bit of a beeline here towards Valmore. Valmore is down here. And then we just need to hit battle. I guess we can take a look at this unit. So here's Alenia. Man, yeah, these guys are tricked out. Wow. AP is basically the red abilities, and then PP is the blue ones. I think the red ones are like the like active abilities, where once they run out of that, then you know, they can't use any more abilities. Whereas the blue ones are passives, basically, right? So yeah, these are like actives: Brandish, Iron Crusher, Vertical Edge, and then again, these blue ones are passives. And then you have there's a priority list as well, right? So like Brandish is top priority right now. That's going to take 2 AP, which is kind of funny, because obviously this will use up all of her AP, and then you won't actually be able to use either of these two unless she is able to restore that in some other way. So Brandish says ignores 50% of the target's defense, grants the user 1 PP if the attack hits, which is, I guess, kind of cool. But yeah, I guess honestly most of this stuff doesn't really matter. Let's just keep going. I would look at these. Actually, let me just see if there's. Who's this one in the back here? Oh, this is Alcina. My understanding is like you might be able to get her at the very end of the game or something like that. Like in the epilogue. Ice Coffin. Oh yeah, so she's just kind of like a tricked out sorcerer unit. Yeah, she's really good. Gailey. Renault. I think that's actually Renault. And Hodrick. Hodrick is actually both of these two you actually get in a little... Yeah, I guess in a little bit. It's not too far into the story that you end up with those two. Alright, so anyways... here, like as a battle starts, it's kind of funny. You can actually reorganize your units to some extent, which is kind of cool. But we're just gonna go with the default here, and we'll go over to battle and just hit the X here.
On your guard.
Does this suit you?
Ready yourself.
Guaranteed critical. Yeah, she's pretty brutal.
You'll see no harm.
Hodrick is the kind of like the defender. I forget the name of that class, but super defensive oriented or defense oriented. And you can see there it takes hits frequently for your allies. I don't even know what this guy in the back. Yeah, he's like throwing this javelin. I actually don't know what class that guy is. I don't. Let me just see. Okay, so he's a sergeant. I don't actually know what a sergeant is. Honed spear and javelin. A column of enemies with a piercing hook. He might be just like the upgraded spear guy, for all I know. Let's see what he's got here. Okay, so he doesn't have any like special gear or anything like that. Yeah, this must be just like so Chloe. I think Chloe is the earliest. Again, whatever this guy's unit is. First aid, keen call. 100% crit rate for an ally. Yeah, so that's what he's using a lot. Activates before an ally attacks. Activates after an ally uses an active skill. Oh, that's pretty wicked. So he can use 2 of his PP to give one character 1 AP. Yeah, that's interesting. Anyways, alright, yeah, let's keep going here. I just think it's a little funny, right? Because this is the first time or when I've been playing before. You know, you only do this battle once, and then, yeah, I just never really, you know, kind of looked at their skills. So it's kind of cool to go back and take a look at what they actually get at the beginning. So that guy's a House Carl, I think. That guy that just attacked, and those are really good. They're really do a lot of damage.
Allow me.
I don't know why this feels really slow. Like the battle speed just feels very slow to me for some reason.
We strive together.
Eventually, you can actually completely skip the battles too, which is kind of nice because they get, yeah, they get a little repetitive, I guess, especially when you go to farm. But that's kind of nice too, right? Just being able to, so like right before the battle starts, you can press start and it'll just skip the battle. And then actually, if you want to, once the battle actually starts, like if you forget to skip it or whatever, and you want to skip it, once the battle starts, you can actually do the same thing. You just press start, and it'll automatically skip the battle for you, which again is pretty nice. And we can speed this up just a little bit. There we go. There is kind of a fast forward, which is kind of nice, which is the right trigger.
Seize her.
Enlighten me, Valmor. To what end do you seek to usurp my throne?
Self-centered fool. It's not merely your throne I aspire towards. It's all of them. Zenoira are the rightful sovereigns of Fevrith, and I, the blade to restore our world to its natural order.
You seek to plunge the continent into war. Fevrith need not suffer your delusions.
A proper ruler demands unity, not pointless politicking with insufferable neighbors. Now, I shall achieve that unity through conquest and reclaim that which is rightfully mine.
I would sooner see you slain by my hand!
I promise you, my queen, the royal lineage shall endure. Tis but a great shame I couldn't aid you further. All has gone according to plan, my lord. And yet our work only just begins. We stand now at a new dawn for Fevrith, one which will see Zenoira's dominion restored at last. Curious, though, that we've no trace of the old knight's captain. About that, my lord. A lone cavalry unit was spotted riding through the eastern gate before it was barred. Then the boy is lost to us. A truth obscured only by his mother's futile attempt at a counter-offensive. It would seem I underestimated her penchant for deception.
Year 895 of the Hallowed Chronicle. Claiming himself a scion of the fallen Zenoiran Empire, Cornea's once decorated General Valmor rebelled against his erstwhile home at the seat of its monarchy, Gran Corinne. Its queen, Elenia, bold in the face of this staggering betrayal, stood unshrinking as the shield to her son Elaine's safe flight, and mustering what meager forces remained by her side, she rallied a defense as valorous as it was damned. With Cornea's queen lost, care of the young prince fell to her faithful knight, Joseph, who took wing beyond Valmor's wretched grasp to asylum on the Forned Isle of Palavia in the Holy Kingdom of Albion. And boastfully proclaiming himself Fevrith's new emperor, Valmor donned a second name, Calarius, and began a relentless onslaught the continent's nations could only but struggle against. Yet each realm's endeavors fell in vain time and again, and ere long Zenoira's vile dominion was realized. His blood-soaked unification come to bear. Few dared stand against the ironclad fist of Emperor Galerius. Embers of resistance burned on. Yet the downtrodden could cling only to furtive hopes of liberation. Desperate prayers which fell upon deaf ears night after unceasing night. Ten years have passed since the Shroud of War first set over Cornea.
I wonder if those two are at it again. Well, that takes care of the altar. I suppose I should be getting back.
Sorry, Elaine, but this round's mine.
Ah, you always were the optimist.
Damn it! You got a good hit in, I'll give you that. There's just no stopping you these days.
Yet you've grown no less than I have. Still, we could likely train for the rest of our lives, and even then, never manage to best Joseph.
Weird to think he's back on the mainland now. Finally making that Liberation Army thing a reality, huh? Guess that means we'll be going up against Zenoira soon.
Indeed it does. The people of Cornea are suffering, Lex. Crying out for whatever help will hear their pleas. Should I turn a deaf ear to those voices, I would have little and less claim to the crown I feel is mine. That, and I owe it to my mother to see them safe.
Well, yeah, but Zenoira's got the whole world in the palm of their hand. How are we gonna fight back against that?
The Earth may be theirs, but the heavens will surely favor those who stand for justice.
You got a point there. Sorry for not sounding all too confident. Just make sure you don't take it all on yourself. I'll be with you every step of the way.
Thank you, Lex. You know I can't do this without you.
Oh, stop. You're gonna make me blush. Anyway, that's enough training for today. We're gonna miss lunch if we don't get moving.
I suppose it is that time.
You see something out there?
It's a ship.
Looks like they're flying Zenoira colors, too.
This island is no longer safe. We have to tell the others.
With you there. You head for the cathedral. I'll make sure the town knows what's coming.
Seal off the harbor, and do it quick! Not a soul gets off this island under our watch. All soldiers soldiers have alighted, sir!
Dispatch the vanguard to the cathedral. And remember, we're to apprehend the target alive.
Understood, sir!
O Heavenly Father, ruler of land and sky above, we pray this day for deliverance from evil. Grant us the meager sustenance to nourish our fragile bodies in the times to come. Guide our lost souls on the path to salvation. Shine down your radiant light upon us, for darkness looms thick through all corners of Fevrith. Such is my request as your humble servant. In the name of the Guardian Unicorn, and that of the Holy Mother. Is that you, Elaine? How many times must I ask you not to stomp around in the cathedral? What is the meaning of this?
Well, look what we've got here. Seems we're the first to show.
Rough her up if you want, but don't forget, the girl dies and our heads will roll too.
Such depravity will not go unpunished. Not in the house of the Heavenly Father.
Yeah? Then you best get to praying.
She's fast.
Not as fast as us.
What the?
Scarlet, are you hurt?
Only a little shaken, that's all. What's happening to us, Elaine?
A ship has come ashore on Palavian soil. One hoisting the banner of the Zenoiran army.
And are they aware that you're the Crown Prince?
I can't say for certain, but we know one thing. These people are our enemy, and they must be stopped.
Yes. My cathedral will see no more bloodshed this day. Come, let's move outside.
Your Highness, it's a relief to see you unharmed.
Hold on. Where's Lex?
He went ahead to alert the town. We'd best find him and get to the harbor.
Indeed. But first, my prince, this belongs to you.
A ring?
The Ring of the Unicorn. Queen Elenia wished for you to have it. In truth, I had intended to wait till signs of age played more deeply across your face. But we no longer have such luxury. I have the utmost faith you'll see it secured.
A keepsake from my mother. Thank you for this, Joseph. Truly.
Make no further mention of it. Now, let us be off.
Okay, battle stages are the fields of combat where allied and enemy units wager war in real time. Each battle stage has victory conditions that must be fulfilled in order to complete it, such as defeating the enemy commander. This is here, deploying units. Allied units can be deployed from any base flying a blue flag. First, move the cursor to the command post with the left stick, and then give Elaine's unit the order to deploy. Alright, here we are. Let's deploy.
They will be ours.
Deploying a unit consumes 1 Valor point from the gauge displayed in the upper left of the screen. Valor points can be replenished by defeating enemies, liberating towns and fortresses, and more. Elaine, look. We've already reached the town. Then we know our first aim. We must dispatch those soldiers as quickly as possible. Right, select Elaine's unit, move over here, and start the battle. When an allied unit encounters an enemy unit, a battle menu will appear at the bottom of the screen. Use it to organize your forces and view enemy view enemy detailed before battle. Select battle once you've finished preparing to enter the fray.
You face me.
Alright, let's enter the fray. Battles play out automatically according to various predetermined rules. First, a combatant's initiative determines their turn order within battle. When a combatant's turn arrives, they will use one of their active skills. Using an active skill consumes AP or action points, which we already went over what those were. Combatants will take turns using active skills in order according to their initiatives. Battle will continue until all combatants run out of AP. So that's one of the more interesting things about this, right? Is there's basically a predetermined amount of actions that, basically can happen, and once characters run out of AP, they're done. There's some ways to like restore AP and stuff during battles, or start out with more, just kind of in general, but. It's just a very different game than I'm used to, certainly. Passive skills will trigger automatically when certain conditions are met, such as being hit with an attack. First, Elaine's Noble Guard skill triggers when he is attacked, causing him to protect himself. Using a passive skill consumes PP or passive points. Next, Scarlet's Quick Heal skill triggers when an ally takes damage, thus healing that ally. Pow! Finally, the enemy's Parting Blow skill triggers at the end of battle, performing an additional attack. Battle will end when all combatants have run out of AP, or when all combatants on one side have been defeated. You can press Y to view the battle log and review the skills that were used in battle.
We march on.
Alright, that's a win. If neither unit is defeated in battle, the side with the lower percentage HP remaining is the loser. Upon losing a battle, the defeated unit is knocked back and enters a waiting state, rendering it immobile for a short time. We almost have them, just one more push.
The path is set.
Alright, first strikes. Engaging a waiting unit will grant the attacking unit a first strike. A unit executing a first strike will always act first regardless of initiative.
Come then. Grows ever closer.
Good. All that remains now is to reclaim the town. That's where Lex headed, right? I hope he's okay. Garrisoning a unit in a town, fort, or other facility will allow that unit to liberate the facility.
We march.
Right, so let's go liberate it.
Onward.
A little bit like what, Ogre Battle?
Liberation.
Liberation! Man, I haven't played that game in a long time. Liberating facilities will replenish Valor points and boost your score upon completing the stage. Additionally, facilities that have been liberated will serve as bases from which allied units can be deployed. Lex, hey, sorry about that. They caught me off guard there. But don't worry, everyone's safe. I made sure of it. Knew it was right to count on you, and I'm glad you're unharmed as well. Still wish I could have done more, though. Here, let me scout out ahead and make up for it. Alright, let's see here. Units can be ordered to move to any location you specify. Select Lex's unit and then move him to the marked location. So this is where Lex just gets completely demolished.
All done.
Just what I was hoping for. It's time to show these guys what I'm made of.
I'm up.
Yeah, well,
Yes,
okay.
sir. You don't stand a chance.
Well, he actually lived. So kind of surprised there. Damn, might have gotten too eager there. Lex, No, we'll never make it in time. Allow me, Your Highness. Alright, unit mobility. Different units have different degrees of mobility. The higher the status, the quicker they'll move through a battle stage. A unit's combined mobility is determined by the individual mobility stats of its members. Here's Joseph's unit. So we'll put him over here as far as we can, but not in the trees. Moving through trees will slow you down. Like I said, automatically bumps him out into the road anyway, so I guess into the road not that much. Oh, we gotta move to his unit.
Very well.
I'm your foe this day, prepare to be struck down. Alright, when two allied units are in close proximity, one can swap in for the other. Press L or R to have Joseph's unit swap in for Lex's. Before battle, you will see a prediction of how much damage each unit will take. Note how these predictions change when swapping units. Alright, so you can see here, if I just let Lex do this battle, he would get killed because he would take 5 damage, and he actually wouldn't deal any damage. So now we'll swap, and apparently we're going to completely decimate this unit instead. So it is really nice to be able to swap like that. There are some... But there's going to be a lot of times where that's kind of crucial.
I am with you.
Healing.
I've not chosen my grave yet.
Run away. Lex, are you alright? Somehow, yeah, sorry for making you worry. You know, it's a miracle you can even put your armor on straight. Here, this medicine should perk you up again. Some healing tonics. Alright, so when a combatant's HP falls to 0, they will be rendered incapacitated. Items and skills can restore HP and revive incapacitated combatants. Select the items option from the unit's action menu and choose an item.
I don't know.
Alright, here's items. Healing tonic. All better. Phew, I needed that. Chloe, perhaps you'd be better served with Lex. I fear he's a bit of a liability on his own. Very much agreed. No more messing around, Lex. I'll be keeping a close eye on you. Ugh. Now then, this area appears to be safe for the time being. Let us hurry on to the harbor. My word, but that's Hodrick. He and I used to stand as the stalwart pillars of Cornia's defense. What might possibly have changed him? Prepare yourself, rebels. Any foolish enough to defy Emperor Galerius must be put to the sword. It seems combat is our only path forward. Indeed, ridding this land of the enemy must be our first and only priority, no matter who that enemy may be. Alright, so the defeat conditions are the time limit expires. Victory conditions are the enemy commander Hodrick is defeated. Selecting multiple units. Move the cursor while holding A to select multiple units and give them all the same order at once. After selecting the desired units, press A and choose a destination to order all selected units to head toward that location. Pausing the battle, ordering a unit to move while pressing A during a battle stage will automatically pause the permanently. That'd be funny. The move and items commands can be used even while the game is paused. Press B to resume the game. Alright, let's try this. Oops.
To me.
No, I actually didn't want to do that. Okay. So yeah, holding A, I actually didn't know that trick. To basically select all the units. I guess we could just go with this.
I'll not fail you.
So Joseph is insane at the beginning of the game.
Awaiting your command.
He can basically carry you because he's level 20.
You face me.
Versus the like whatever, you know, level 3 and stuff of these other characters.
Gaze upon the...
I'm ready to hit something.
Alright, so here, this unit will take 0 damage if I do this. So we'll We'll have Lex and Chloe fight instead.
Got me good. Sorry.
Are you okay?
I'm going to try to do a little bit of a better job of using multiple units this time around. I didn't really do that the last time I played. I kind of just built like a couple of really strong units and let them kind of go to town. All right, so this is not a good.
Sure thing.
Okay. We're kind of just gonna get.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we'll just make this a bloodbath here.
Your villainy ends here.
15, 18. That's a loss. Actually, it looks like both of these are going to be a loss, no matter what I do here.
Come then.
We'll give Elaine some EXP here. There's a way to essentially farm EXP in this game too. I mean, it's not some hidden thing, but so you know, what I would say is probably just don't worry too much about you know, certain characters falling behind, because it's really easy to catch them back up.
Ready. On it. You don't stand a chance.
Yeah, she doesn't really heal for much there at the end. Alright, so now that these guys are...
The path is set.
It's kind of like stunned. Oh, what's going on here? Well, whatever. That's fine. Excuse me. You really want to jump on these guys though when they're timed out like that to get those first strikes. But unfortunately, I didn't quite make it here because this dude intercepted me. But
We march on. Well fought.
and unfortunately, right now we can't really do much in terms of, or we can't do anything in terms of changing like group setups. But not you know, it'll be pretty soon we will actually be able to do that.
Your villainy ends. You don't stand a chance.
There we go. Let's see.
Healing.
Okay.
That's how it's done.
Take notes, Lex.
No stopping now. I'm up. You got it.
To me.
I'm ready to hit something.
It looks like these are going pretty well. I actually vaguely remember the last time I played Lex actually dying really early. I think like one of the House Carl guys got a crit, and he already had like the defense down debuff, and he just got wrecked. So it was kind of funny.
Told you I'm awesome.
We march.
Okay, so he's gonna take 18. We're gonna take 14.
Path is set. I'll not fail you.
Yeah, and Joseph will just decimate this guy.
You face me.
This struggle will only prolong the pain. Accept the mercy of a swift demise.
Why are you doing this? You, who once stood as my mother's royal guard.
Enough of your questions, Welder. Interfere, and I shall see you suffer for it. Not today!
So, Scarlet there is is basically what's going to carry this battle for me. Such firm defenses, our weapons barely leave a scratch. Perhaps my magic will work then. Leave this to me, Elaine. Alright, so hold Z... What is it? ZR? Oh, that's weird. Fast forward the game, advancing time quickly. Fast forward can be used both in stages and during battles. If the game is paused, fast forwarding will automatically resume it. Oops.
The time is at hand.
Yeah, fast forward is amazing.
Onward. As expected.
I feel like more games have implemented, you know, some version of fast forwarding, and I just love it. Alright, so here we'll just fast forward through here.
Let me.
Tank's down.
Good. I must never yield.
I can't fail my sacred mission.
Leveled up.
To me.
Units that are garrisoned like that one is there will also revive their units eventually.
Come then.
Which is kind of interesting. kind of annoying though sometimes, dude. Fast forward this here. Ow.
Easy now.
Fine job.
Couldn't quite take him down that battle, but that's alright. One more should do it. Elaine is down to 1 stamina. Stamina is a little bit annoying, right? You can't just keep, you know, going to town on these guys, and you'll run out of stamina. And then once you get down to 0, you basically have to rest. Or, yeah, I mean, if you're at 0, you'll have to just rest. There's other ways to restore stamina, but yeah, we'll get into those a bit later. Alright, so there it is. Stage clear. Not too bad. Being that it's still a tutorial.
What foolishness is this? One such as I, brought low by the corneate vermin that gnawed our ankles.
You've fallen far indeed, Hodrick. How many times did you stare death in the face at Her Majesty's side? Now, look what you've become. I may stand as your swordmaster no longer, but I can yet offer you a merciful end to your descent.
Wait.
Your Highness.
Tell me, Hodrick. Do you remember the times you and I played together? When I was still just a boy? Yours was a bond of loyalty few knights could hope to equal. Why cast that aside and bend the knee to Galerius? I refuse to cut down a friend without first knowing how we've reached this grim conclusion. A simple reason is all I ask. Please.
Elaine!
The ring! What sorcery is this?
Oh, my head. What am I doing here?
A spell to shackle the hearts of men.
'Tis the only way I can think to describe it, my prince. That ill-fated day, all the lords closest to your mother turned upon her without so much as a moment's notice. Unfortunately, my memories end there as well.
A frightful power, if what you say is true. This spell of control, it could be called. Such magic would go far in explaining how Galerius so swiftly brought Fevrith to its knees.
I shudder to think what unspeakable evil I wrought upon our world these last 10 years. Though there is no greater misdeed than turning my spear upon you, Prince Elaine.
That's enough. You mustn't blame yourself any further. But I do wonder, how is this ring capable of unmaking the spell?
In truth, I had believed it to be mere regalia, a symbol of your birthright and nothing more. To think the power of cleansing truly exists. Your Highness, that is the Ring of the Unicorn, ancestral treasure of Cornia's royal lineage.
Legend speaks of your ancestors wielding it to purify evil, but I had believed such tales to be mere fiction.
The Orthodoxy has a similar story about the Holy Unicorn. How it was a sacred beast able to purge darkness from our lands. It's entirely possible that the ring that bears its image is somehow capable of that same power.
Should Galerius's rule be built upon a foul sorcery that fetters our people, then this ring is the ray of light that will pierce its wicked heart.
Your words ring true, my prince.
Indeed. Were we able to free those bound by his cruel magics?
It might just bring the Iron Wall of Zenoira crashing down.
All told, I've often found myself plagued with doubt. Is it justice that guides our march, or paltry vendetta? Yet the answer is clear as day now. The path before us is laid bare, and all that remains now is to walk it. Walk it I will, Mother. Today marks our first foray into the mists of despair which hang heavy over our home. Mists that will soon be dispelled. It may take days, months, or even years, but I shall see the duties of my bloodline fulfilled, and slay Galerius like the beast he is. And how does Hodrick fare?
Well, all things considered, any fog that lingered in his mind seems to have cleared, and he stands ready to fight once more. By the way, Your Highness, allow me to brief you on our plans for when we arrive. Among the Liberation members I've mustered in my past excursions is a young yet skilled knight by the name of Clive. I'll ride to bring him to you the moment we reach solid ground.
You have my thanks.
A word, Elaine?
Is something wrong?
Well... no, it's nothing.
Are you sure? Anxiety will be the death of you if you keep it bottled up like that.
It really isn't important, I assure you. It's just... our lives have changed so drastically from the peace we had only yesterday. It barely seems real.
I can't say I feel any different. But I've always known this day would come. It's why I've spent all these years training under Joseph's careful instruction. A shame you never had the chance to meet my mother. She was always one to blaze a path forward, royal blade in arm. But as her heir, I intend to lead in much the same way.
Is that why you and Lex spent all your days banging swords down at the shore?
You've seen that, have you? You know, Hodrick was likely but one of many. And assuming the others who surrendered to Zenoira are being controlled as he was, we may just stand a chance in this. Yet our liberation is still in its nascent days. Promising, yes, but gravely fragile as well. Which is precisely why I'll need your help, Scarlet. To reclaim peace for all who have suffered.
Elaine, Of course. I'll do everything I can. As is my role as a priestess of the Palavian Church.
Hey, don't forget about me.
Lex.
What?
I'm sorry, my prince. Decorum doesn't come naturally to this fool.
It's all right. When you've known each other as long as we have, there's no reason to let formality bind us.
But there are protocols to observe. Rules we must follow as vassals in service of the crown. Still, I'm of the same mind. What mind he has, that is. I'll give my all in the royal name, Your Majesty.
Thank you all. I couldn't ask for a finer group of friends.
Okay, let's save. Alright, so here's where you get to decide what difficulty you play on. You can change this, though, at any time, so it doesn't really matter. Focus, tactical, deep, strategy games. I think I'm going to start on expert. I don't know if I'll keep it on that, but we'll see. At least that's my intent, is to play on expert the whole time, but we'll see how it goes. Some of the battles can be pretty tough. On expert, that is.
Elaine, why have you stopped?
We're surrounded.
Not the welcome party I was hoping for.
Get your vile claws off of me! Let her go!
Chloe!
I should have known you'd be behind this treachery, Renault.
What is the meaning of this?
Apologies for the icy reception, but we've business with the girl.
What business could you have with Scarlet? Unhand her this instant.
No, I don't think that will be happening. I act under orders from Emperor Galerius himself. As for what he plans to do with her, that's not for one of my station to know. Yet I shall see it done all the same.
No! Scarlet!
My work here is concluded. I leave the rebels to your band. Don't worry, boss. I'll earn my keep. So, straight into the hornet's nest, huh? You've got to do something, Elaine. Hear me, soldiers of Cornea. I ask that you stand aside for your returned prince. Sorry, kid, can't do that. It's nothing personal, just following orders from the guy paying the coin. Damn, we've no hope of overcoming such numbers. Your Highness, with us, everyone, I beg you. Come, my prince.
I'm ashamed to hear you met such misfortune before I arrived.
Your Highness, this man is Clive, the knight we spoke of earlier.
A pleasure.
Still, it rankles the mind. I never would have dreamt that Galerius was after Scarlet, and not you, my prince.
Who was that knight who took her?
His name is Renault, formerly a proud servant of Queen Elenia, not unlike myself. And just as I fell victim to Galerius and his foul magic, it would seem he has met with a similar fate.
All the same, why Scarlet?
Perhaps her role as a priestess has something to do with it. Lately I've heard tell of Zenoira's desire to spread its roots into the Orthodoxy, making one with direct ties a prime target.
In any case, the risk to her safety is clear should she fall into Galerius's hands. And sitting idly by only serves to stoke my worry further. Let us be off at once.
Wouldn't do that if I was you. No chance you're helping the girl if you don't even know where you're going.
And you are?
Don't worry, he's a friend. A collaborator of mine by the name of Travis.
Fancy way to refer to a spy. You need intel, dirt, or just the latest weather, I'm your man.
And what of Renault?
Road east, faster than a clap of thunder. I can only assume he's going for the city. But the real problem is his army of mercenaries. We went after Renault. We've got to go through them.
Your Highness, we all share your sense of urgency, but we've no hope of aiding Scarlet without first routing the enemy before us.
Right. We depart as soon as we're able.
So that fortress over there serves as the enemy command post. Indeed, Your Highness, and the region will not know peace until we claim it as our own. Housecarl. Alright, so Housecarls are excellent attackers who can lower an enemy's defense to deal heavy damage. As for us, this fortress here is our first and final line of defense. If the enemy overruns it, we'll have nowhere left to turn. Then we defend it at any cost and proceed forth with extreme caution. So we'd have to beat Albin, was it? I want to see something here. Oops. Forgive the intrusion, Your Highness, but I believe our units will struggle without the proper... I believe our units will struggle without the proper... I missed what he said there. Jeez. Reading it too slow. Press X on the deployment screen to adjust... Yeah, it's basically we need to adjust our units here. Before engaging the enemy mercenaries, press X to adjust a unit's formation. So Lex and Chloe are pretty bad together. I just remember, I remember Lex getting just stomped. Let me just think here. Actually, now that I think about it, it may have just been who I was going up against. We'll see here. Anyways, on the screen you can add, swap, or remove members of a given unit. Perhaps we ought to explain the strengths of each class type first. What say you, Highness? Each character has a set class that determines their combat affinities, as well as what weapons and skills they're able to use. So let's listen to the explanation. Such information would prove quite valuable. Yes, please go on. As you wish, my prince. To begin with, cavalry classes such as mine are quite effective when facing enemy infantry. As such, you may always call upon me to dispatch infantry in your path. It says knights are highly effective against infantry-based units and can traverse stages swiftly due to their high mobility. Remember, Your Highness, that danger lies around every turn upon the field of battle, yet the shield I bear is more than capable of defending our allies from harm. Here's the hoplite, boasting great shields, armor, and high physical defense. Hoplites are stout warriors that excel at protecting their allies. Defending is not the only way to survive, though. If you ask me, you're better off not getting hit in the first place. If you put me in the front row, our enemies won't even be able to touch us. Thieves have high evasion, allowing them to swiftly dodge enemy attacks in the front row. Generally speaking, you'll find it best to place your sturdiest fighters on the front row while reserving the back row for frailer combatants. Look upon the following formations as examples of how you may wish to deploy. Alright, so here's Lord in the front row will bear the brunt of enemy attacks, while the Knight in the back row cuts down enemy infantry. Or Lord in Hoplite here, it says the Lord in Hoplite will share the burden of enemy attacks, and the Lord will heal when he uses Lean Edge. And then Thief in the front row will draw and evade enemy attacks, while the Lord in the back row can focus purely on offense. Thank you, everyone. I'll be certain to keep this in mind when planning our formations. So I think I'm actually going to... Oops. Well, here's the unit details. On this screen, you can change a unit's formation, adjust members' equipment, and alter their tactics as you see fit. Actually, don't want to do that. There we go. And then let's put Joseph here. So I actually kind of like this formation for basically at the beginning. Joseph is basically going to carry. I'm going to move. Take less damage from magic assists or gain more valor points when defeating enemy units. Yeah, I guess we can keep it with Elaine right now. So he's got 6 stamina. Yeah, so that's another reason actually. I don't know why Joseph has such bad stamina right away. That it doesn't really make sense because he's a level 20. So I'm not sure what's going on there. But anyways, as long as Elaine is the leader, he's got that unit will have 6 stamina, and then yeah, Lex will have 6 as well. Really not sure why that's the case though. It just seems so weird. So thieves can steal, and they can steal cash from your enemies. That's kind of useful at times. At least at the beginning, I didn't really use that much once I got a little ways in, because it's just honestly a little bit easier to just spam some of the other stages to get tons of cash. So kind of leaning towards Holdrick here. This unit is probably not really going to be able to do much, though. Yeah, we'll just go like that. Alright, let's get Lane out here on the field. Yeah, so we're just going to dominate these guys.
No surprise there, yeah? Sure. Let's take what's ours.
Actually, just a little bit too quick. There we go.
You face me.
Alright, so it looks like we can't just skip the battles quite yet. So I'll just fast forward this. Yeah.
We march on.
Joseph is just so brutal right now.
Go on. Sure.
The time is at hand. Onward.
Your villainy ends here.
So yeah, Joseph gets Pursuit, which basically makes him automatically attack immediately after one of your other allies has attacked. So that's why we're just decimating stuff right now.
March. To me.
Yeah? Won't take long.
Damn it, looks like they've got their guys crawling all over the harbor. And judging by appearances, I suspect they have more units ready to join the battle at any moment. Facilities controlled by the enemy will occasionally call reinforcements to the battle. Try attacking the enemy controlling the facility if you wish to stem the tide. This will force them to heal, stopping them from summoning reinforcements.
Let's take what's ours. Sure.
I want to see something here.
Come then.
Just hit fast forward here. Nothing new to see here. These are all pretty standard battles at this point. Lane leveled up. Alright, engaging in battles consumes 1 stamina seen on the shield to a unit's right. Units with 0 stamina will be unable to move. A unit's starting stamina is determined by its leader. When possible, Your Highness, you should try to avoid using only a single unit. Should their stamina be exhausted, they will have no choice but to rest where they stand until it recovers. Select Rest from a unit's action menu to command it to rest. The unit will then enter a waiting state and recover a set amount of stamina. That's it's really risky to do that on the field unless you've got other units around it to help protect it, because yeah, it's really bad if you get attacked while you're resting. Keep in mind a resting unit is defenseless against enemy attacks. If an enemy engages a resting unit in battle, that unit will be unable to use active skills or passive skills. That's why it's so brutal. They just can't do anything. Alright.
Onward.
Garrison here. I wanted to check something. Options. Oh, this is it. Auto advanced dialogue. I'm going to turn that off for now. Advance wait time. Oh, I could have jacked this up a little bit. Maybe it wouldn't have been so bad, but I've got auto run on. Auto pause at start of stage. Oh, that should probably be on. Yeah, auto pausing at the start of stage is nice if you like if you're not paying attention, because otherwise the stage will start and enemies will just rush your base and kill you. Which I don't know. I'm speaking from experience. That has happened. I've just not been paying attention, and then my base just got attacked right away, and I had to start the stage over. Anyways, oh kind sir, thank you for saving us. I hope this can prove useful in the battles ahead. There's a revival orb, but those are cool.
The path is set.
Probably be using quite a few of those. The bridge there appears to be held by enemy shield or spear bearers. Not only are they capable of delivering piercing attacks on an entire column, but they deal heavy damage to cavalry as well. I suggest you exercise the utmost caution in handling them, my prince. Alright, piercing attacks. Some skills, like the soldier's long thrust, can pierce an enemy unit, damaging enemies in the front and back rows of a single column. Combatants arranged in a column are susceptible to piercing attacks. As such, you should try to stagger them instead. Alright, move the cursor over a unit and press X to draw the unit detail screen where you can adjust unit members' equipment and alter their tactics. Fine reminder, Clive, let us consider well the enemy's strengths before marching into battle.
We march.
Alright. We'll do like they say there and put them off center.
Onward.
Oops.
Hope you've made your peace.
Let's see if Travis can handle dodging here.
I am your shield.
Oh, he just jumps in front of him anyway. Okay, well. There we go.
Easy. Go on.
Oh, wait, can't use Valor skills yet? Interesting. Maybe there's a tutorial where you can start using them later.
Face me.
Don't know why else this wouldn't be available yet. Crack.
I am with you.
We march on. A fine bout.
Yeah, actually putting Travis in the same unit as that tank is probably not the best way to do that, actually. Heck, kids aren't half bad. Come on, boys. It's time we teach them what they're up against. There are more of them? You've got to be kidding me. Alas, it is no joke. I suggest we stand our ground and await their advance rather than charge blindly forward. Facilities such as towns and bridges have a variety of garrison effects, which are bestowed upon the unit garrisoned within. These effects can prove quite powerful, so try to garrison units in facilities whenever enemies approach. If you wish to review a facility's garrison effects, simply move the cursor over that facility. Skipping battles. Alright, you can now skip battles by pressing, well, for me it's the start button. If it's often better to watch battles play out, as skipping them prevents you from learning why a unit won or lost. Yeah, that's kind of true though too.
The path is set.
I'll make it quick.
See something here. Okay, yeah, it doesn't really matter where they're at. I'm just gonna skip this.
Go on. Won't take long.
Yeah, that unit's doing really well.
For the liberation.
And there's the bridge garrison now.
Time for payback. I'll make it quick. No hard feelings.
Yeah, so at this point too, you can just skip the battles.
Sure.
Out here on the world map even. You don't even have to have them start. These ruins may hold something of use. You can find items by garrisoning in ruins. So yeah, we'll definitely do that.
Time for payback.
Just gonna skip that.
I'll make it quick.
Oh shoot. I didn't realize.
I can't stay on my
That was
feet.
the last of my stamina, so I'm actually gonna have to just sit there for a little bit. Because I can't really just rest with an active enemy right next to me, so it looks like it's gonna attack Travis though. And then we'll be able to, okay, there we go. And then I'll be able to rest afterwards.
Victory grows ever closer.
Alright, so if I were to just like rest right here, this guy would recover and then attack me, and I would not be able to use any sort of skills or anything. So that would be really, really bad.
You face me. Well fought.
Alright, so that's
the time is at hand.
Done. Yeah, I'll work on this other bridge down here.
Hope you've made your peace.
Yeah, Travis is kind of going to be stuck here for a little bit.
Can't even grab my dagger.
Also, if you noticed, you know, by garrisoning here and letting the enemies, you know, come to us, we didn't use any stamina, which is, you know, huge.
I can't stay on my feet. Go on.
So that's, now we can rest sort of safely, right? Because this guy isn't going to move off of that.
I've arrived. We march. The path is set.
Oh, enemy reinforcements. That's annoying.
Come then. A fine bout. The time is at hand. Onward. 'Tis ours now. We march.
Gonna have to come up that way.
Yeah? Won't take long.
The time is at hand. To me.
Is Travis not going to be able to make it? I might have to intercept them with somebody else. Because, yeah, it's not looking like Travis is going to get there on time.
Victory grows ever closer. We march. The path is set.
They will know when ready. On it.
For the liberation.
Dew of Strength. That's just a really kind of lame
Onward.
What now?
consumable item.
You don't stand a chance.
Let's take what's ours.
Ooh, wow. Okay.
This one's mine. Done and dusted.
Done and dusted.
I'm up.
Alright, we'll garrison here at the
You got it.
bridge.
The time is at hand. To me.
I'm here.
Oh, didn't make it around him. That's alright.
You face me.
He's gonna try to not use a stamina there, but I don't think it actually is gonna matter.
A fine bout. We march.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there's any items on this stage either. You know, in some certain stages, you know, random items will, well, not, maybe they're not random actually, but items will appear on the stage. Looks like I'm actually gonna take some damage here.
We march.
Oh yeah, because it's like two spear guys. That there's Aubin, leader of the mercenaries. Don't let your guard down for even a second. The stars displayed beneath an enemy's stamina represent the relative strength of their unit. An enemy unit can have 1 to 3 stars depending on their strength. The enemy with a 3-star rating is the commander for a given battle stage. Okay. Press start to open the stage menu where you can review unit information, save your progress, and more. Consider saving before crucial moments such as engaging enemy commanders in battle. Actually, I didn't even know that you could save mid-battle. I've never done that. Alright, well there it is. Alright, so we're gonna take 22 and only deal 20. That's kind of crappy. Let's see if we can change things. That's a little bit better, actually.
Well, look who finally came knocking.
Apologies, but I fear we lack the time for pleasantries.
Figures. Let's get it over with then.
I have you.
This guy reminds me of Rip Riley from Archer. Let's get it over with then. Well, he didn't attack the same guy. I probably should have tweaked Elaine. Yeah, I think I need to take a look at Elaine's priorities, and I want to call them gambits, but that's not what they are.
I must never heal.
He's even stronger than he looks. Can we truly defeat such a powerful opponent? We can indeed. Our morale alone should be enough, or more than enough, to see us through. Alright, so here's finally the Valor skills. You can now use Valor skills during a battle stage. Use them by selecting the Valor skills option from a unit's action menu. Different classes have access to different Valor skills, each of which consume Valor points when used. For example, Elaine's Valorious Order skill grants first strike to all allied units in range, which will prove useful when fighting enemy commanders. That actually is true, yeah. I am going to bring Travis over and steal from him first.
There is time yet.
Oh shoot. Didn't realize he was still attacking. Okay, well I'm not going to do any damage to him. Alright, we'll heal. We'll both heal a little bit.
Hold fast.
I'm just going to skip that.
Time is at hand.
So Valorious Order, or Valorous Order. That says increases damage by 20%, reduce damage taken by 20, and then grant first strike to all allied units in range. That's pretty awesome. And then here, this is actually kind of the one that I used the most with Elaine, at least in the early portion of the game. It says increases EXP earned by an allied unit by 100%. So it basically doubles your experience. It says for one battle, but I think that's actually one engagement, right? Like, you know.
Go on.
I think anyway. I don't think that lasts like the whole, right? Like the whole stage. I think it's just one battle. All right, so there's the steel. Actually, about 1,000. That's pretty good for this point in the game. So I'm not going to do any damage if I just attack him like that.
I appreciate it. To me.
Here we'll do 25, which is still not great.
You face me.
This won't be fun.
Come then.
I like how the voice actor, or like the unit will kind of give you an overview too, like on what they think, right? Like if you're just going to take a ton of damage, they'll say something like that, like, oh, this doesn't look good. Alright. Oh, switch this. Lean edge to HP, lowest HP. There we go. Oh, get dunked, kid. Oh, the miss. That's brutal. Alright, I'm gonna skip the rest of this. Yeah, that miss, that was not good.
I've need of a rest. We march.
Yeah, now Elaine needs to just sit here, which is annoying. Yeah, and so just like sitting here, this is the other problem with not having like enough like strong units to take this guy on, is that Elena's just sitting there while these guys, you know, revive. But there's no way around that. Alright, so let's see.
You face me.
I think we should take these guys out pretty quick again. There we go.
I have you.
Alright, so probably one or two more attacks will finish this guy off, I think.
We march.
Oh yeah,
To
one
me.
more. Oh shoot, they just revived again.
Then.
Yeah, that's brutal. Do royal order here.
Stronger than ever.
That should get him.
You face me.
Yeah, that'll do it. Ho, ho, ho. Pursuit? Alright, that's that.
Another step forth.
Oh, nice, leveled up too. Luminous cover activates before an ally is attacked. Cover an ally with a medium guard. Grant that ally plus 20% defense. Cool.
Victory grows ever closer.
And acquire a vitality talisman, which is pretty meh. Alright, so here's just kind of the overview. Yeah, points are good. Pretty basic stuff, right?
Alone, are you?
Also, I should say there's honors and then renown. I'll probably go over some of that stuff a little bit later, or in detail at least. But again, more of those things is better.
What happened to your friends?
Long gone by now. But with all the time about them, never could have done without you lot chasing me halfway to hell and back, though.
The fort's empty, Your Majesty. Not a soul in sight.
Guy laid out the bait, and we just had to take a nibble.
Strange. Few leaders would play the sacrificial lamb in such a predicament.
Don't flatter yourselves. I would have shook you off like weak old mud if I hadn't hurt my leg in our little scuffle. But hey, that's just part of the job. You're gambling with your life the second you take that coin.
Then you know how this ends.
Stay your blade, Lex. There's something I need to ask him. What does Galerius want with Scarlet? I'll take any scraps of information you may have. Please.
You do realize I'm just hired steel, yeah? They keep my pockets nice and heavy, and that's as far as my curiosity goes. So, sorry, but I'm not a questions kind of guy. At least not past my bottom line.
Well, what do we do with him?
Let's say I offered to fill those pockets instead. What then?
First, I'd ask if you still had all your marbles, but I'm not the discriminating type. As long as the pay's right.
If this is supposed to be a joke, I'm not laughing. We're trying to beat the enemy, not hire them.
It's not every day you come across a man willing to greet the heavens in order to see his allies safe. Now, our aim is to liberate these lands from the oppressive clutches of Zenoira and its emperor. I'd ask your aid in that battle.
You know, I'd heard you were nothing more than the crumbs of some spineless resistance that got chewed up and spat back out. Never would have guessed you're really just a pack of reckless lunatics.
This so-called lunatic is none other than Prince Elaine, true-born heir to the Cornian throne. And our war is a righteous one.
You're trotting around the crowned brat of a dead-and-gone kingdom trying to flip a whole damn empire? Sorry, kids, but I don't like them odds.
Doesn't sound like he's interested.
Hope you know I don't come cheap.
Does that mean you'll join us?
Granted, you're willing to foot the bill. King-making's not an everyday job for a merc, but you've seen enough to know I'm worth the gold and more. So we got a deal? We'll even cut you a little discount.
Now that we've settled matters here, we move to rescue Scarlet. Time grows short.
Indeed. It's more than evident Galerius had some grand purpose in kidnapping her. Delivering her from his bloodied talons may strike a heavy blow to the heart of his aims.
Perhaps, but this is far sooner than we had planned. Our allies remain scattered through every realm of Fevrith. Casting the gauntlet at Renault's feet would only send us all to an early grave.
If I may add, there are those among Galerius's adherents who willfully chose to betray the Queen those long years ago. I fear we have no hope of avoiding conflict with such base traitors.
It would seem we'll need to bolster our ranks then.
Your Highness, upon ushering you to Palavia, I labored tirelessly to build a foundation upon which the Liberation Army can take hold. I have seen great suffering in our lands, 'tis true, and yet greater resentment harbored by the oppressed and the downtrodden. I have every faith such fierce emotion will spur them to join our cause. My prince, fly your crest across the banner of the liberation. Spearhead the rebellion against Zenoira, and you will surely find kindred spirits ready to take arms in your name.
Then I will do just that. I only ask that you be the crutch I may lean on when the perils of war grow too great to bear alone.
Okay, choose a heraldic achievement to represent Elaine. This can be edited later from the heraldry menu. Excuse me. Alright, so I'll do this really quick here. Don't really remember what I used last time. Probably this one. We're going to do that shield. That symbol there. And yeah, that looks pretty good. Alright. Save. Done. Yes, we will save our progress, thank you. To begin with, Your Highness, I suggest we make for the fort we just liberated and increase the maximum size of a unit. You will come across a variety of quests as you explore Fevrith. You can review the details of any quests you've received by pressing Start to open the Overworld menu, then selecting Quest Log. You can move freely throughout the Overworld with the L stick. Start by heading for Fort Soligi and selecting Visit. Alright, forts offer a number of vital services, allowing you to hire mercenaries and expand your units. Additional services will become available as you gain more renown. For now, try selecting Expand Units. Here you can exchange honors you've earned to increase the maximum size of a unit or unlock additional unit slots. Honors are awarded for feats of valor and can be expanded at forts for the services offered within. Can be earned by completing battle stages, making deliveries, defeating wandering enemies, and more. So that's the first thing that we're going to do is expand Elaine's unit to 3. And we'll back out of here. Nicely done, Your Majesty. You can now assign more members to your units. Oh, and people who fight in the same unit will slowly grow closer. So that's rapport. As characters gain rapport with each other, their rapport level will increase. Characters with a high rapport level will receive a bonus that boosts their stats while assigned to the same unit. Reaching certain rapport levels with specific pairs of characters will also unlock a rapport conversation between them. You should review the formation of our units whenever you can, or whenever you next have the chance, Your Majesty. You can access the unit formation screen by pressing Start to open the Overworld menu, or by pressing X in the Overworld. Mind if I grab your ear too? We nabbed some nice gear in that last battle. Well, you did. Anyway, make sure to share the spoils, yeah? We need everyone armed to the teeth if we want to keep them breathing. Alright, we can change character's equipment by pressing Start, then selecting Character List. Open the Character List menu now and equip a character with the Vitality Talisman you obtained earlier. Alright, so let's do that really quick. And then I'm actually going to end this video because this is getting really long. So here's the unit leaders. It says every unit has a character set as its leader. The leader's class determines the unit's movement type and leader effect. To change a unit's leader, open the unit formation screen, then move the cursor over the character you want as the new leader and press Start. You can also change a unit's leader after deploying them to a battle stage, but doing so will cost you 1 valor point. So try to decide on your desired leader before deploying. Yeah, that's really inefficient if you try to change leaders mid-fight. And I think I actually am going to swap this over to Joseph. And then I'm going to put Albin in here because he's a beast. Alright. Yeah, and so I'm actually going to save here and end this video. So, as always, I hope the guide was helpful, and thanks for watching.